What up my awesome viewers, it is Real Gian here, and you want a mechanical keyboard but you're new to the scene or you're just new in general. Hopefully these series of videos can help you guys out. One of the things that I always start with is the switches, because I believe the switches are the foundation to decide which keyboard or keyboards is right for you. If you plan on having one as your daily driver, so there are basically three characteristics of switches: linear, tactile, and clicky. These three characteristics are the most common found in three colors: red for linear, brown for tactile, blue for clicky. And then of course there are variations, but for the sake of simplicity, let's just focus on the big three. Red linear. This is the type of switch that most gamers would prefer because it's light, it's fast to double tap, there's very little to no resistance when you press on these switches, making them very easy to game for a very long time, and it makes it very easy to double tap very quickly. The value with the linear switches is that they are typically feel like the lightest of the three. If you're the one that easily have finger fatigue, then I would say go with the linear, but there is a giant but. You need to get used to how light the switches are if you're coming from, let's say, like a membrane keyboard. I would say the first week or so you will be mistyping and accidentally making a lot of double taps when it comes to using the keyboard, but this is something that you can get adjusted to. I know that there are the ones that are adjusted to them will pretty much love them and remain a linear switch loyalist. When describing linear switches, I would say it's something like pushing against marshmallows. It feels light and easy to press. The red switches are personally my least favorite of the three because when I had my hands on the blue clicky switches, I pretty much did not want to go anywhere else. The way how the red switches are very linear is just not my personal taste. Anyways, here's what the keyboard or switches sound like. The tactile brown switches are often referred to as the best switches because it has a little bit of both. This is lighter than blue, not as light as red. They have a bump when you press them. If you're coming from a membrane keyboard, this is a perfect place to start, and there are a good number of you that might just stay here. The switches have a different sound from the red, and for those that say red and brown are silent, honestly I think they're not. If you're looking for a keyboard that is the jack of all trades, the master of none, then I would say the tactile switches are the ones to go with. When it comes to how they feel, the best thing I can think of is comparing them to, let's say, a superior membrane keyboard. They have a tactile bump, but you don't need to bottom out the keyboard in order to make the switch work. Personally, I like the switch and I would take this over red any day of the week, but it's not my favorite. Here's what the switch sounds like. The clicky, often annoying blue switches are the best if you find the right ones and you're patient enough to handle a bit of finger fatigue in the beginning to break the keyboard in. Blue is something of a love-hate relationship with people because they either, on one camp like me, once they have the experience of the clickiness of the blue switch, they never ever want to go back, or the mere sound of the blue switches disgusts them and they will complain to the boss that you are distracting them from their work. Blues are tactile, they often have a audible click, which is a great way to tell if the switch is activated. The sound of the blue switch is something that I have fallen madly in love with, and I know that the brown switches are easier on my hands, but I can't help but just type through the pain with the blue switches because the sound is so awesome. If you're a streamer and you want to be PC, then blue is not for you. But if you don't care what others think about you and you just want to enjoy the beautiful blue symphony, then the blue switches are the way to go. You can stay here for as long as you want. Welcome to the club if you are a blue lover. Anyways, I'll let you guys enjoy the sound of the awesome symphony of the blue switches. So I am aware that there are variations which does change the weight of the switches. I am aware that different keyboards have different feel even though it's the same switch. So if you're new, then this is something that you're gonna have to keep in mind. Different keyboards will feel differently even though they have the exact same switch. This is something that you're gonna have to deal with when it comes to buying your first mechanical keyboard. Also, there seem to be two different communities. There are the gaming keyboard community that loves RGB and other gaming features. Then there are the enthusiast community that will build their own mechanical keyboard with the switches that are not normally found, just because they want the keyboard to feel exactly how they want it. To be honest, both communities are great because this means that there's a big market for mechanical keyboards, and to be honest, I hope it continues for as long as possible because let's face it, the bulk of my content revolves around mechanical keyboards. If mechanical keyboards die, I am dead. GG. Anyways, if you made it this far into the video and you haven't clicked subscribe yet, click the subscribe button for more content similar to this. Also ring the bell to get some updates when I make more content. Anyways, you guys stay awesome.